All right, welcome back. We are back with an update, a summer update for the GBA. And we've had a little bit of changes since we last talked. Everybody's still in the league, all that good jazz. But LeBron is going to be a Philadelphia 76er, destroying his legacy one team at a time, championship chasing like he always has. We are back. I just had to give LeBron his flowers because he is the most important person on planet Earth. He is God, according to LeBron James. But I'm dropping this in the Discord real quick. 1 second. All right. Yes, so we've got a couple things we got to cover this summer. We have the draft coming up. The draft, I want to say I have set up here. I want to say it's a September draft, but I know guys are already kind of planning. There were 54 days. October 1st is the draft. It'll be another draft where we do like a longer pick period, so nobody has to pick right away. But 8 hours per pick, and from 7 a.m. or from 10 p.m. to 7 a.m. the draft pauses unless somebody takes a pick, so you don't have to worry about your sleeping time. It'd be just like normal, 3 rounds and everything. So, oh, also the Toyota Tundra rankings will not be in a Toyota Tundra. We have a new sponsor this year. It is Honda CRV. Yeah, we got a CRV. Check it out. Oh yeah, fresh. We are in a CRV. The Tundra is still there. I still have it. Still own it. But needed something that got a little bit better gas mileage. Family man now. So we went with the CRV. A little bit more space for little guy. But anyways, yeah. So one of the big questions that needs to be answered is what's happening with the 3 and the 4 pick. Well, we're going to tell you right now. I have a spinner. Of course, it's reversed on here, but there are Wyatt and Trent. Wyatt has 7, which we had already talked about. There was going to be 7 Wyatts and 3 Trents. So Wyatt has a 70% chance of getting the number 3 pick. Trent has a 30% chance of getting the number 3 pick. So we're going to spin, and I'm going to show it to you as we spin. All right, here we go. Big money, big money, big money. Who's getting the 3? Oh my God. Oh man. Wyatt gets the number 3 pick. So Wyatt, you have the number 3 pick. It has been decided. That was as close as I think it comes on one of these. So congrats. I don't know who you're taking. But we're going to talk a little bit about Summer League. I was kind of wanting to touch on, some of these rookies. A lot of guys think that this is the best draft class, the best draft class that we've seen in a long time, and I think it probably is. I think 1 through 5 in this draft, of our draft that we're probably going to see, is going to be some very impactful players for NBA fantasy for years to come. Let's pull up a couple things here. Yeah, so talk a little bit about. I just made some notes here on what we've seen from several of these rookies who I know are going to be top 10 picks in our draft. But yeah, so the Banza went to the Wizards, and he I don't think he even played, actually. Did he play? Yeah, I think he played one game. I mean, a lot of these early guys, they didn't play a ton in the summer league. The guy that we probably seen the most from was Caleb Wilson. I mean, he's an athletic freak. Reminds me a little bit of Kevin Garnett. But the Banza, what you're getting there. You're getting a freak athlete, pretty physical player. And then Darren Peterson, is the hamstring going to hang on? What do you really expect out of him? There is some injury risk, because we've seen at Kansas how he can only play so many minutes. He's on a minutes restriction. But I really like his landing spot with the Jazz. I think he's going to be a featured player for years to come for the Jazz. Cameron Boozer also going to the Grizzlies. I think his draft stock fell a little bit, but his impact he's going to have with the Grizzlies is going to be really nice, I have a feeling. He doesn't really have anybody to compete around him. He's kind of the guy there in Memphis already. So that's going to be interesting to see. Caleb Wilson on the Bulls, I think he is going to have to play alongside Buzelis. But he kind of brings a little bit of a different aspect. I think he's more of a Buzelis is a high flyer, but he's kind of a high flyer that needs to work on some shooting, but I think can develop into a really nice player. The guy that I think honestly kind of surprised mostly everybody was Yaxel. Yaxel looked really good. He ended up on the Warriors. In the summer league, I'm pretty sure he averaged 14, 6, and 6. So he's a triple-double threat coming into the league. I don't know if that he necessarily gets some minutes right away, but we could see where the Warriors struggle with this aging core, and he gets his opportunity to play. And he is an older rookie, but I think he makes an impact on that Warriors team year one. I don't really know what to expect out of these first 4 picks. Murph has the first pick. I would expect him to choose between Peterson and Boozer. But I think the Banza is also in play. The Banza going to the Wizards with kind of a loaded lineup there with Trae Young, Sarr, Anthony Davis. I don't know. I mean, he fits into the role, but the minutes may be, cut a little bit because they're competing. The Wizards are going to compete this year. I don't know if they're much above a 500 team, but they're going to compete. So he'll be interesting to see. And then, like I said, Peterson, he's kind of got the reins there. Him and Ace Bailey are their guys. Bailey wasn't super impressive in his rookie year, but Peterson's going to get every opportunity there. He's a guy I think you could see a stat line of 16, 6, and 4 or something like that. That's solid as a rookie. Definitely a rookie of the year candidate. And then the rest, Boozer's going to be a double-double guy. I don't think that there's any doubt about that. He's going to put up, 20 and 10 pretty consistently. And if he can grow his game in other aspects, I think he's a little undersized. But I think he's going to be very interesting to watch. So I think the 1 and the 2 are going to probably be between the Boozer, Peterson, and the Banza. Number 3 going to Wyatt. I don't know necessarily what he needs or what he's thinking, as he probably doesn't even know he has number 3 pick right now. But I could see him going more towards, the Banza if he's there, or goes towards Peterson. But then Acuff is there. Wilson is there. I think you're going to see Peterson, Boozer, the Banza, Wilson, and then the rest. Wagler, Yaxel, Merez. This is an entertaining class. I think you could go 10 deep in these guys. At least have some impact this year. So, beyond that, a couple, summer trades have happened. We saw LeBron signed with the 76ers, and then they also had the trade with the Celtics, where Jaylen Brown goes to the Philadelphia 76ers. So they got Brown, Maxey, LeBron, and Embiid all on the same squad. That's going to be very interesting to watch. Then we saw the big trade where Giannis, R.I.P. Daniel. Giannis leaves the Bucks and is headed to South Beach. Kind of a shocker. I mean, we all kind of figured it was coming. Miami had been the one over the time period that we had kind of expected him to land at. And I think, honestly, Milwaukee ends up turning out really well from this trade. I know Giannis is your guys' guy, but I think that the combination of Khalil Ware, Tyler Hero, Jaquez has been solid. I think Yakin is underrated. He's a dual threat guard. Pass, he can shoot. So I think the Bucks actually maybe turned out a little better. Clear some cap space. And then we saw where Ja, who had clearly not wanted to play in Memphis, and probably a good thing he got out of Memphis with all his gun problems. He heads to the Trailblazers. And then we also saw where the Charlotte Hornets moved off of LaMelo. LaMelo is now going to go play with Anthony Edwards up in Minnesota. I think that's going to be an intriguing combination. I would hate to see that locker room between Ant-Man and LaMelo. And then one of my guys got traded, Walker Kessler. Kind of the future there in the Jazz, for the Jazz, gets traded to the Los Angeles Lakers. That was kind of a bigger one. We saw where after that had happened, DeAndre Ayton gets moved. He's with the Wizards. What is going on with the Wizards? They're just hoarding talent of ass players. Ayton, AD, Trae Young. These guys are overrated. They have a good young core, and they're screwing it up, chasing has-beens. I'm a Wizards guy. I love the Wizards, but they're messing it up. And then, we saw, Miles Bridges get moved and Lou Dort. But the big three that moved were Giannis, Brown, and LaMelo. I think that's going to be, those three are going to have the biggest impacts on their franchises. But I do think, what kind of came in return for Giannis, Daniel, I think was actually a pretty good pickup for you guys. I know getting rid of your guys' greatest player is never a fun situation to be in, but I don't think you guys did bad. What you got in return, I think Khalil Ware is going to be a monster. As a Khalil Ware truther, I think that he is going to put up some crazy numbers this year for you guys. So, other than that, I don't really have too much else to say. I just kind of wanted to hop in here and give you the summer update, finalize what we're really expecting in the draft with that 3-4 pick, and from there, we're ready for the season. So we'll get the draft going here October 1st, and hopefully from there, we're ready to go, ready to rock. And until then, I probably won't see you guys for a little while, but I'm sure something will happen in the NBA where we're all chit-chatting in the Discord. So till then, your commission's out, and we will see you guys soon.